Hello, welcome to CIO Leadership Live Australia. I'm Kathy O'Sullivan, Editor-in-Chief for Foundry's flagship enterprise publications, CIO and CSO. My guest today is Dr. Alex Gee, Chief Information Officer at New AIM. Alex is one of our CIO 50 Australia alumni for 2023 and is also a visiting professor at Sochi University. Hello, Alex. Happy New Year.
Hi, Cassie. Happy New Year.
Great to chat to you again. And look, I'm always really keen to hear about people's origin stories. So can you tell us how you got your start in IT and what your career path to date has been?
Oh, sure. And actually, it happened quite natural. It all started when I was a kid with my father, because he was a software engineer, and his love for coding actually rubbed off on me. I mean, by about age of 10, I was already diving into the coding project myself, of course, with the supervisor guided by my father. But starting from there, I built my passion into the coding and the software engineering. So it's quite natural for me to pick the software engineer as my major in the uni. And I really got a solid grounding in that field. And after that, I went to pursue a PhD degree in information science, specializing in AI. And after my PhD degree, I stayed in the academic area for about 2 or 3 years doing the research. But I suddenly realized, okay, what my true passion is to applying this theoretical technology to solving the actual real world problems. By actual, I mean, when you solve it, you can see what's the result and what's the impact. So that triggers me to jump out of the academic area and go into the industry. And I started my career, industrial career at Sportsbet, where I was diving into data engineering and science, which is a perfect fit for me when I look back, because it's a sort of a job blending the coding, research, and innovation together. Because when you manipulate the data and tell people the insights, you need to have a very good imagination, innovation, plus the tech part. So that is actually what I learned from my previous academic and also the PhD degree period. And from there, my roles just keep evolving, like from the data engineer to the data architect to the platform engineer. Then at Focus, where I actually got a chance to build the data function from the scratch. So I took that chance and show people not only by doing something coding like the technical part, but I actually can got a big picture, the strategy initiatives, and drive the whole thing. And I think I did a pretty good job and I success. So that's why I met someone and they asked me to join NAB as a data science manager, where I started as a data science manager, leading a team, doing the consulting work internally with different teams, like crossing the personal bank to the corp bank and solving different problems. And then later, about 2 years, I became the head of enterprise data science. And after NAB, I joined New AIM, actually started as a head of data analytics, still doing the data work. But it didn't take too long for me to realize, and not only for me, but for the whole ELT people, realize that the pivotal of this role, that data plays actually as a foundation of all the technology part, from the operation to the IT, to the data, to the digital product. So they think, okay, I built the foundation, so why not let me to take the whole thing, put onto the same umbrella so I can coordinate everything. So that's why one day our CEO from LAM knocked my door to say, okay, are you interested in the CIO role? To be very honest, at that time, I'm a little bit worried because I never been in that role. But I take a deep breath and rethink my whole career. I started from IT, which I do have the technology background. And then I did my PhD, which have a research background and innovation. And also I good at strategy thinking and in the data area. Then why not? Just take the chance, try. Then I say, okay, challenge accepted. That's how I become the CIO of New AIM. And it's been about 2 years. And we go through a long journey to the current situation. And I'm very happy with the choice I made at that time.
Excellent. Great to hear, Alex. And look, tell us more about New Aim. Can you give us an overview of its purpose and what you and your team look after there?
Yeah, for sure. So New Aim actually, to be very honest, when I talk to people, not many people know New Aim. Actually, New Aim established ages ago. It's about 2005 when it is established. And actually, it is the Australian's largest private e-commerce company. And it offers a dynamic approach to online business. Why I'm saying that is that maybe when people outside look at New Aim, they will consider New Aim just as a trading company. For sure, that's correct. Because the most important foundation part of New Aim is global trading e-commerce. What we do is sourcing the things overseas and then, ship to the Australia. And then we run in the warehouse. We got 7 different warehouses, physical warehouses sitting in Melbourne, and we're running it. And then we sell our product, about 5,000 SKUs by 40 different channels, like eBay, Kogan, these kind of marketplaces. Also some big names like David Jones, Bunnings, Harvey Norman. And we also take care of the after sales. And our product has already delivered to over 60% of Australian household, which means 1 out of 2 household bought our product. So that is our very solid, big foundation. But that's not all. We also got another part, which maybe outside people didn't see that very clearly. That's why I want to promote it here. So we actually got another 2 parts. One is called Dropship Zone, which is actually a B2B marketplace. And why we got that? Actually, one thing I want to mention is that this is actually the biggest Australian B2B marketplace right now on market. And why we built that is that New Aim actually grow from a very small retailer, as a small retailer, selling the product first on the eBay. Then we go through a whole journey and we come to such a big company right now. And we know how pain it is for these small and medium-sized company or the retailers to grow. And we know their pinpoint where it is. And the most important thing is that, sourcing. They don't know where to source the right product. And also the technology support, because there are a lot of things they only can do manually. They only got one-man band, right? So how to helping these small retailers and the medium retailers to grow is our mission, part of our mission. That's why we build this Dropship Zone, where these people can easily find the right sourcing and also manage all the products via this platform. Plus, we are currently providing a lot of service for them to running their business, such as providing the insights on the market, what's the price guidance for a particular product, all these kind of services. Previously, we used internally. Now we want to public it and make it as a service to these kind of small and medium retailers. So sort of to feedback and helping the Australian community for these customers. And this is our second part. The third part is that I think everyone knows AI right now, right? It's very hot and popular. And we know a lot of tools comes out. But again, for these small and medium-sized retailers, they want to use it. But the bar is still there. It's hard for them actually convert or apply these things to their business straight away. So how to lower this bar and move this barrier for them to use that easily is also something we are doing right now. So that is why our third component, which is called Aeroxy, we just established. The main task for that component is to democratize the AI usage in the e-commerce area. So people can easily access these and boost their business. So these are actually our 3 parts. Even for the very first one, trading, our foundation for that is the digital supply chain, where all these technology things comes in. We build a lot of systems, all these things internally. So you can see these 3 components, though they are separate, but they are related to each other. Internal usage, we test a lot of technology things internally, found they are useful, and then we make it to be a public service on the digital platform. Further, we dive into the AI area, which is Aeroxy. to add back to this dropship zone and also our internal business. So that is the sort of the three components of our business.
Wow, it's fascinating. And as you said, even though New Aim might not be a household name, it's still used by 60% of Australians without them even knowing it. So listen, I'm really keen, and you mentioned there quite a lot about the various components of the business, but can you tell us more about how your digitalization journey at New Aim is tracking, and I guess what have been some of the big initiatives that you and the team have been working on?
Yeah, for sure. So digitalization is always a very hot topic, and we actually kick off this journey about a few years ago, even before I was joined New Aim. And what I want to summarize or conclude is that our digitalization journey at New Aim is progressing very remarkably. So by leveraging the cutting edge technology such as AI, data analytics, and proprietary IT solutions, we are revolutionizing our operation across the board, marked by several key initiatives. So first, we centralized our data into a unified data center, which is happening about 2 years ago, and enhancing the accessibilities and the analytics capabilities. So before I joined here, we do have a small data center, but that's just a database. So we extended that one to be a data platform where all the data flows into that. We got a central position of the data, so we can use these big data, to do a lot of things. Next one is the AI-powered algorithm to optimize our warehouse operations and the couriers ratings, improving efficiency. Like what I mentioned previously in my CIO 50 is that LPO, last mile postage optimization. So that also comes from here. So from then to now, we further shaping and improve the algorithms to make it to be much better. And of course, the warehouse, we got 7 different physical warehouses sitting in Melbourne, and how to make sure the operation is efficiency is something we use AI and the data to drive. And also another big project, big initiative we just recently built internally is called Product Center. Product Center, you can consider it's a streamlined product management system internally, just one stop, where we use AI functions or features to do a lot of things like the content generate, and also the product description generation, and also a one-stop sync to 40 different channels. All these things are built internally and embedded in Product Center. And apart from that, as I mentioned, the Dropship Zone and Aeroxy, that's the 2 big initiatives. Recently, we are keeping adding more things into that. On the Dropship Zone, we are keeping adding AI services, like providing what's the recent trend of some product on the market to support the retailers in boosting sales. And Aeroxy, our very new entity, aims to democratize AI, as I mentioned, for small and medium retailers, enable them to leverage advanced technology for their e-commerce business. So these are actually the most recent digitalization journey at New Aim. Yeah.
So you mentioned there, that the last mile postage optimizer, that was something that, was part of your CIO 50 entry. So I'd love to dig in more into that. Can you tell us more about that initiative, and especially how, I guess, it affected your customer satisfaction and the operational efficiency that you mentioned there?
Yeah, for sure. So last mile delivery optimization actually is a big challenge, not only for us, but across all the e-commerce players, I would say. Think about a few years ago, okay, when you order something online and you need to wait maybe 2 weeks or 3 weeks, even longer, to get that on your desk, right? Then you can open it, what it is. You almost forgot what it is. Okay, so how to make sure people got the best delivery service while also we offer them a very cheap price. That's a big challenge for us. So I would say not all the companies or e-commerce players can do that because they just have a very small volume. But for us, we are at a very good position to do this because we sell 5,000 products, which is covering about 30 different subcategories, which is a big range, right? And also, we're selling these products via different channels, not only one channel, not only just Kogan or just MyDeal. You can buy our product via eBay, via Kogan, via MyDeal, via Beyond Mortar, which is the Big W, Harvey Norman, Barnes, because all these people are different audience. They got a different habit and they live in different places. And as I also mentioned, we have already delivered our product to over 60% of Australian households, which means we have a very big data volume at the back end, which can calculate, okay, someone from this place, they do love to purchase this kind of product. And by use of 12 different couriers, we know what's their behavior, what's their lead time in the last decades. And by analyzing this, we can easily matching these things together, choosing the best courier for this particular customer on this particular product. So without this kind of a big volume of the data, no one can do that. But with them, plus some AI technology adds in, it is quite easy for us to do that. And by doing that, we need to test, okay, if it works or not, just like you said, what's the impact to our customers, right? To do that, actually, we did the A/B testing. So we compared 3 different scenarios. The first one is just arbitrary to allocate a parcel into different couriers, just randomly pick one and to see how it goes. And the next one is we use some very classic scenarios where parcels are located into couriers and determine, okay, the cheapest one. So just to use the cheapest one, right? People want to save the money, so we use the cheapest one. And the last one is we use our LPO model to see how it goes. And what we found actually result a significant uplift, not only in timing, but also in cost as well. So compared to the first one, which is the randomly select, right? The cost saving can up to about 25%. And also compared to the second one, which is, okay, just to choose the cheapest one, we found the quality of the service, which is shorter the delivery time, about 20%. But the cost perspective, on average, it's just about the same, maybe 1 to 3% difference. But I think people were happy with that. If you can save maybe, I don't know, 1 week to get your product, people definitely were happy with that. So by doing this testing, we found LPO actually works. And it does satisfy our customer. And also, you know what? Because we choose the right courier, it also decreased the cost from the courier, from the delivery cost, right? So we actually added this back, gave this back to our customers by reducing the pricing. So this is actually a win-win thing. Yeah,
absolutely. It's so fascinating how it all works in the background from when you actually order something to when it actually gets to you. And it's so fascinating hearing all that technology and how it is driving that customer satisfaction and operational efficiency there. So look, Alex, you mentioned quite a bit about data, and it is so clearly fundamental to New Aim. So can you tell us a bit more about how you've made that shift to being so data centric?
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah. So I think because this is not my first time to do this shift to be the data centric. Not only here in New Aim, my previous roles in NAB and also back in Vocus, I also went through the same journey. But what I would say is that most important thing is establish the company-wide acknowledgement of data is important, and it must be the centric. So people's acknowledgement. And I found I'm very lucky actually in New Aim, because previous in NAB and also in Vocus, I spent a lot of time discussing with my stakeholders to persuade them. It spent me quite a bit of time to do that. But here, thanks for our CEO, Feng Lan, he actually embraced and embodied a data-driven approach here. So even before I come here, almost all the members will talk to other people using data. So that means, okay, if you want to ask some questions or answer some questions to the other department, you need to use data to demonstrate that. Either it's a problem or this is a solution. But what I found is that culture is here, but data is not ready. So what does that mean is that okay, it's lack of centralized data, so people can interpret the data into different ways. So I still remember the first day I comes into asking a very simple question. So what's the average price of the SKUs across New? Three people, they gave me different answers. Why? Because someone used the base SKU, which is not the listing one. Because, for example, you maybe purchase a desk and a chair together. It's a set, right? So you maybe pay $100, but at the back, we call the base SKU is separate to them. So you may use $180 to this desk, $20 to that chair. So on average, it's different. So they use different ways to calculate the average price, give me different answers. And when you sit down with them, you find, okay, they are all right, just from different angles. But when people talking about a single term, the same term from different angles, how messy it will be. So that's what I admit the challenge is. Culture is there, data is not ready. So how do I fix that problem is that establish, as I mentioned previously, the first thing I kick off is to establish a centralized data center. So everything goes into this data center, and we sit down with all the stakeholders to discuss, okay, what's your definition of this term? What's your definition of that term? And aligned across the whole departments. Then we starting talking using data on the same page. So that's what we did. And during this journey, actually, I made a lot of problems, challenges, but thanks to our CEO's strong support, and we finally achieved the current stage. We got a very good data center running at the back end, and everyone is talking about the same language now, and everything is quite smooth right now. And what I learned from this whole journey is one thing is that you have to demonstrate something to the people to let them see why you need to do that. And always start with something very small. So I still remember the first example I used to demonstrate why we need a centralized data center is called dynamic pricing, which is helping people to decide what's the right price for the product. And doing that calculation, if you use different terms, it will come out with different result. And by doing that small trial, in 2 weeks' time, I make that happen. And by just that simple scenario practice can save them, for one person, I still remember 3 days per week. So it also saves them their time, shows them benefits, and they buy it and start to trust in this data center. So that is giving me a good opportunity chance to build this one later. So yeah, that's pretty much about how I shifted from separate to be a centralized data center.
Fascinating. So look, how then, I guess, do you strike that balance between data-driven decision-making and human judgment, especially in the context of technology like last mile postage optimizer?
That's actually a very, very good question. I've been asked for quite a lot of times from different people by, okay, how to balancing out or how to compromise between the data-driven decision and the human judgment. Actually, my answer is that these two aspects are not conflicting to each other. I won't say it's balancing or it's a compromise. Okay, so they are actually complement to each other. They're complement to each other. What I'm saying is that okay, data-driven, yes, you got a bunch of data, but you need to teach the model how to use that properly, and this teach should come from the human. Okay, first you need to choose the right model to run in the things. Second, you have to have the people in the loop to give the feedback. So if you come to our system, what you will see is that almost all the model running at the back end, there will be a front end when people are allowed to get in, give the feedback. So they will pick to accept or reject. By reject, they will give different reasons. And that's actually the good feedback, get into the model to further tuning that. So I would say human judgment is a must component in this whole journey. So I won't see these are conflict to each other. They are supposed to sitting together and helping each other. Yeah.
Very well said. So, look, I know New Aim is very much a digital organization, and obviously the e-commerce roots there. But do you still have, I guess, legacy systems or existing IT
Of
infrastructure that
course,
you have to
of
look
course.
after? And I guess, how do you balance that need for, maintaining your existing IT systems with that need for constantly looking for cutting edge technology and moving the needle?
Yeah, so of course we got a legacy system. I think every company got that problem. So I have to say, there's no one single solution to solve this problem because you got a different legacy system required by the operation. You can't stop that one. Meanwhile, you got different requirements to improve that. That's quite obvious. But my approach is that, okay, when you design the new stuff, okay, you need to design it properly. I'm not talking about the legacy system because whatever you currently design may become the legacy in the future. You need to avoid that kind of things. How to do that is to separate the things into different components and each component connected to each other via the API. So that means in the future, if I want to change some component or something has already been too old and need to retire, okay, take that component out, write this another component in, but use this API to connect it together. So just like play Lego. So you take some part in, plug in things. That will be the best way to design the whole thing. But that actually only can solve the future problem. For the legacy things, that's a big challenge for us. What I do is that I have to use my business analyst to dive into these kind of legacy systems to see, okay, why it is there? What kind of things it is serving? And how can I use the new service to serve this as well? And doing these things at the back end. And when it's ready, I just switch to the new system. So that is how I migrate the legacy one to the new one. That is something I'm doing right now, but yeah, this is quite a challenge to be very honest.
Absolutely. Yeah, certainly a challenge for many CIOs. So, look, I know you have an academic background in terms of AI, and you've mentioned there that, you are using a lot of AI at New Aim. But what opportunities do you see either in your organization or in the wider industry when it comes to AI and especially Gen AI, which has been such a buzzword?
Yes, yes, yes. Actually, to be honest, quite a lot. And even before Gen AI, when we're talking about Gen AI, we all started from ChatGPT, right? Even before that comes out, at UM, we already found the importance of AI. And actually, we built our chatbot, which is auto bot for the customer service, even before ChatGPT comes out. So by using that, we auto reply. We first recognize what's the purpose or what's the content of the questions, queries from the customers, and automatically reply. First, categorize into different groups, and also auto reply some of the groups. And by doing that, we can cover about 30% of the customer inquiries. So improve the efficiency quite a lot. And then Gen AI, ChatGPT comes in. We use that to further improve the auto reply to our customers. Now I think it can hit about 40% of the customer inquiries. So that part definitely Gen AI will come in to help a lot. And another part actually we already tried internally is the content generation. So as I mentioned previously, we built the product center, which is an internal system, one-stop system to manage our products, the 5,000 different products. Previously, we need to use about 5 to 10 content writer, spend maybe about 1 day per SKU for the new SKU comes online. But now with this Gen AI things comes in, it can automatically, based on the basic information and the format you want, to write the content and the SKU as a product description, automatically generate a paragraph to describe what it is in about only 20 seconds. So save quite a lot. And also previously we need a whole group, which is about 20 people, as far as I can remember, to do the photograph things, to shape the photo, all these things. But now with Gen AI, like the Mid Journey, these kind of things. You can just put a picture with the white background into it and change the background easily. And this saves significant time for this designer to do the things. So all these things actually advanced technology or the services has already embedded internally into our product center. And I can see a very significant improvement on the efficiency side. So this is definitely another way. And the third part, I think AI and Gen AI always can help is prediction. So predict what's the demand and what's the market looks like, which we also already tested quite a lot internally for this. Yeah, I think these are the three main aspects where the AI and Gen AI can help.
Now, with so much data in your systems, how do you ensure the security and I guess especially around the privacy? There's so many issues, especially in Australia at the moment with breaches. So what role does cybersecurity play in terms of New AIM?
Yeah, I would say it's one of the top priority of our company, because as an e-commerce company, we got a lot of data from our customer side. We have the obligation to make sure these data are secured. So what we do first is that we have the regular comprehensive risk assessment internally. So to test the risk and also both internally and externally, such as the data breach, insider risks, or data leakage, these kind of things. We do it about once per month at least. And the second is that for the access and these kind of things, we do have the multi-factor authentication being there to make sure not all the people can access the sensitive data. We do have these kind of proper methods sitting there. And also, of course, sometimes you have to transit the data between different systems and different cloud. And encryption is definitely needs to be there. And we encrypt almost all the sensitive data when we have to transit between the systems and the cloud. And another thing I found is definitely very important is that employee training and awareness. So we already set up this as a compulsory training almost every month to do some not only training but also testing. We will send some email randomly to some employees to test if they got an awareness of this kind of a scam email or not. And this is already there. And of course, we all know no matter how you are ready for this cybersecurity, something may always happen, right? So we have to be prepared for the incident response and disaster recovery plans as well. We do have a mechanism and the standard of progress SOP set at the back end to prepare for this incident happen. And of course, compliance with cybersecurity regulations is a must, like the GDPR, these kind of things. We always follow that. And the last but most important part is that we will engage the external party, the third party, to do the regular assessment for our data cybersecurity to see how it goes. Yeah, that's pretty much about all the things we take care right now.
Great to hear. And look, we've talked a lot about New AIM today, but I'd love to hear more about your team. And I guess, how do you foster a culture where people feel like they're learning and collaborating? What strategies have you implemented there to create a good culture within the IT team?
Yeah, for sure. So my belief is actually people join our team is not just come to get a payback, from the salary perspective, but they also seek opportunities for their personal and also professional development. If we cannot provide this to our employees, they will not stay here for a long time. They will definitely. And so I definitely strong support this kind of personal career growth. So what we did internally is that first, we do have a transparent career path. So what I ask my team from the data to the IT to the digital product is that we got 7 different levels. And for each level, you need to have a very clear job description and list all the points you need to achieve to be that level. And this will be online on the Confluence page, all transparent, accessible to all the people, all the team members, and make it be very clear to you, okay, if you want to promote it to be the next level, that's the requirements. And I always tell my that is actually one part of the KPI for my team director leader, which is on the head level and manager level as well. They need to have a one-on-one with their team members and helping them to fill that gap. And I want to see every 6 months, which is half a year, someone actually promoted to be the next level. So that is the part of the KPI for my team members. And of course, I want to emphasize the personal growth for the team members. I do have a subscription to some online learning platforms like Coursera, Udemy to provide these online courses for them. I also encourage people to attend the different conferences, and company will pay for the ticket. So many of our team members will at least attend one conference, professional conference inside IT or digital product or the data conference in Melbourne or Sydney at least once per year. And another way I found is quite useful is not only to attend this conference or learning online, but also collaborate with some tech giants like Google. So, and Databricks. We just recently had a strategy agreement with Google and Databricks. So we will collaborate together to build something in AI and for our Aeroxy. So by doing that, they will come in to do a lot of training for our team members, and we will also collaborate with them, work code dev something together. And by experiencing this, people can actually pick a lot of things and helping them to grow. Yeah.
And finally, Alex, what's important to you in 2024?
Quite a lot of things. But if I have to list some, I think 3 things are most important. The first one is further digitalize our supply chain. This is the foundation of NewM, and we spent a lot of time to further digitalize a lot of operations, make them to be from offline to online, and also to further tuning our systems to improve it. And the second is, as I mentioned, the Dropship Zone, which is Australia's largest B2B online marketplace. And we want to launch a lot of AI services into it. And eventually, finally, we want to make it to be a one-stop solution, which means, okay, if a small or medium retailer, they want to do business, come onto Dropship Zone. You can get all the things you need, from the sourcing to the SKU management, to the channel thinking, to the in-market insights, everything you can get on this platform. So we call it a one-stop solution. And the third thing is that we want to collaborate with the giant tech companies, as I mentioned, Google, Databricks, to make the AI service available to the e-commerce, especially in e-commerce area, community by our third component, which is Aeroxy. So these are the 3 most important things I want to achieve in 2024. Yeah.
Well, we wish you all the best with those initiatives in the year ahead. Alex, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you.